there were a lot of people, let's just call it like it is, it's no secret, immensely disappointed that Kiss on their final show not only didn't have former members there or out on stage, but didn't even have an acknowledgement. There were people that thought there would be a video package or some sort of acknowledgement. And clearly you didn't go. Clearly you weren't there. I'm sure that was difficult for you. So when you look back on everything that transpired a few weeks ago in New York City on that final show, and you're hearing from the fans, and of course you were a part of it for a while, what's your takeaway on the whole thing?
Well, I know you mentioned earlier in the show how there was this open invitation as press when they started this End of the Road tour. I never took that seriously. I know that we did an interview once where you asked during the pandemic, would you play with them? And I said, I'd love to. By the time I remember them doing the big push for the final 50, Doc McGee just came out when they asked on a podcast with, what about Bruce Kulick coming up on stage? And he said, well, Kiss doesn't jam. I mean, I knew that it was a dead issue right then, okay? I have played with them on the Kiss cruises. Who gets up and jams professionally on a final night? There was no real intention to have other members there, okay? You got to read through between the lines when you're listening to, what the business people say. And I didn't expect much. I never expected an invitation after Doc laid that out there 6 months prior with the big 50, the push for the final 50 shows. So as it came closer, the only time I was hurt was when I saw Madison Square Garden in New York City being Mecca for the Kiss fans. It's like they were all going to the Kiss cruise, Eddie. You know what I mean? And I wasn't invited. And I didn't expect to be invited by the time I got the tone from that interview that Doc did. But I really thought it would be a big mistake if you don't acknowledge the past. And I know they missed an opportunity here. Every band, I thought about this over the weekend, Eddie. Every band has a past and a present, and maybe they have a future, even if they, end it. Obviously, maybe repackaging great records like, bands that put out all these amazing, demos and deluxe versions. And if you think about Kiss, that night they were in the present, which is the band, Tommy and Eric do a great job with Ace and Peter, multi-million-dollar show production on stage that is just over the top amazing, okay? They know how to do that show. I'm always blown away about how great they put on a show, okay? Granted, it was the same show as you probably saw a week ago as well in some of the other cities, and I think that's a fair criticism from the fans. Why wouldn't the last show be a little different? What's new here? But clearly they did everything to set up the future, and they forgot about the past. They were there on, for their final present gig, present version of Kiss, and now we're immortal. Here's the avatars.